Welcome to Navigating Hope, your compass to health empowerment. I'm Dr. Jaime Hope, steering you through healthcare, overcoming overwhelm, personal goals, and emergencies. We'll navigate the healthcare maze with actionable insights and real-world advice, unlocking the secrets to a healthier, more vibrant life. Join us to take control of your well-being and make informed decisions for your health and your future. Stay with us as we unravel the mysteries of medicine, wellness, and life's unforeseen challenges, helping you bypass the ER with a dose of knowledge. Stay tuned till the end of the episode with a recap of your actionable insights and a free gift. Let's chart a course to your well-being together. All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode. I am so excited to be joined today by Dawn Armstrong. She is the founder of Think Safe Seminars, which teaches the habits of awareness and stun and run classes focused on violence prevention and physical defense. By promoting habit stacking, she helps individuals enhance their daily safety routines and navigate threats without relying solely on physical defense. Dawn's mission is to empower people with the knowledge and skills to stay safe and manage potential dangers effectively. Now, Dawn, I'm so excited about this because we were talking before this started about situational awareness. I've taken some various safety classes over the years and realizing that as much as at the end of a superhero movie, I'm ready to karate chop and fight the bad guy, the physical reality is not always that. So thank you for being here. And I love your mission.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. And like so many people, the physical aspect of self-defense is very exciting. It's invigorating, it's empowering. And I get that. But at the same time, it is the last thing that most people ever want to have to actually use.
I'm not really looking to fight someone in real life. Yes, that's correct.
Right. Absolutely. And I've been practicing martial arts for over 25 years, and I don't want to get into a fight either.
Yeah, and you're going to do significantly better than me, who took some classes back in college. That was many, many years ago. Now, I have 2 young children. I have a niece in college. And just for myself and for all of our listeners, these safety things. So what inspired you to want to help us so we can be aware of what is around us and be safe?
Great question. I, like you, started my martial arts training when I was in college.
Nice.
I took it as a 1-credit phys ed class. And here we are 30 years later. So that was the beginning of the personal safety awareness and physical skills development. And I always did that as a hobby, really.
Nice.
And I went on, my first career was in advertising and marketing, and I got to work with a lot of great clients and travel a lot. And it was through some of those experiences, living in large cities, traveling alone, or sometimes with other women, that I realized how much personal safety, really impacted my life on a daily basis, and how I needed to be more aware. And so fast forward, and I decide, it's time for a career change. And what am I going to do now? And that passion for self-defense and for safety came out. And it happened around 2016. And there were a lot of different things going on in the world around that emphasized the lack of personal safety, the lack of awareness that a lot of people experience. And I realized that not everybody learns they're not always aware of how they present to the world or how other people perceive them. And so people will unknowingly make themselves a target. They don't mean to, but if they're not aware of what's going on around them, or they don't know what to look for or how to respond, they can become easier targets. And so that's what I wanted to prevent, to teach people, hey, there are things that you can do, small movements, quick thoughts that you incorporate throughout your day that will help keep you safer no matter where you go, no matter what you're doing.
Excellent. So I love that. So for everybody listening, you don't necessarily have to go become a black belt in martial arts in order to utilize these techniques. These are actionable things that you can learn, and you can create this habit that can help protect your safety, right?
Correct. Correct.
Excellent. So let's talk about the habit of awareness. And so, can you explain what that is and then how we can use habit stacking for just everyday safety, things people can actually do today?
Sure. Habits of awareness are a combination of your personal awareness as well as your environmental awareness and how those two things combine. And with the way that I teach habits of awareness is that I'll take an existing habit that we all have. Okay. For instance, looking both ways before we cross the street. It's
Good
something we
choice.
all
Everybody
do,
should be doing that. Yes.
right? And most of us don't even think about it anymore. It was one of the first safety habits we learned when we were little kids. We hardly even think about it. But why do we do it? Why do we look both ways? And it seems like a silly question, right? But the 2 seconds of your time that you take to look left and look right has such a huge impact on your personal safety. That small movement can literally save your life.
Wow.
And other habits of awareness are similar. They're just small movements or quick thoughts, but it creates an awareness that helps you stay safer. And so what I'll do is take an everyday habit like look left, look right, look both ways, right? You take that base habit and then you stack a safety habit on top of it. So the base habit acts like a trigger. It reminds you to do the other thing that you're trying to learn, right? So in this case, you can look both ways, look left, look right, and then scan back to the left. You just do a brief scan of the area back to the left. And it's not like you're looking for horrible things, right? You're just looking to see if anything is off baseline for whatever that environment is, for whatever that time is. When you come out of a grocery store in the middle of the day, what that baseline is, so that people are going to be walking to and from their cars, putting things in the car, there's going to be truck deliveries, just standard everyday things. But if you look out into the parking lot and you see something that makes you look twice, that's something to pay attention to. And then you do your quick threat assessment and you decide, well, do I want to continue? Do I want to walk back in the store? Do I want to go to another direction? And so just by being aware, it buys you a few seconds of time to make another decision that will help keep you safer for whatever that encounter is or that situation is.
So I love that. To me, it sounds, and I know that I've been guilty of this. Sometimes we're walking around on autopilot. We're not really paying attention unless we get a big cue from our external environment. And what you're suggesting as you exit a door and enter a parking lot or approach a street where you look both ways, take those habits that you naturally do and stack on top of it, flip off the autopilot switch and look around you and just see if anything falls outside the typical pattern, if anything feels different.
Correct.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
doable.
That's doable, right? And maybe you don't see something, but all of a sudden those alarm bells are going off in your head. Your instinct is kicking in and it's warning you about something. That's when you need to pay more attention as well. So,
And I think those instincts are really key because whether it is innate that we're born with or whether it's something we're trained where your brain realizes something's off before your conscious awareness, do you talk to your students about trusting those gut feelings and instincts?
oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It is so important to recognize those feelings when they happen, right? And they manifest in different physical ways, right? Sometimes you feel a tingle on the back of your neck, or the hair on your arms stands up, or you feel a pit in your stomach. There's different physical manifestations of your instinct when it's trying to warn you. And so when you feel those things, a lot of times we'll try to brush it aside. Like, oh, there's nothing going on here. Oh, that person looks so nice. What could possibly be wrong? You know,
Yeah, didn't Ted Bundy look nice too, though?
right. Or it's, I'm having so much fun. I don't want to stop whatever it is I'm doing right now. But your instinct is still triggering. And it's because when it comes down to it, your instinct only has one job, and that is to keep you safe.
Nice. Oh, that's such a good point. You know, we do tend to over rationalize our instincts instead of just going with what we know is inside of us. I bet a lot of people can relate to that. Now, you mentioned there are options other than physical defense that are crucial for navigating threats, which is great for those of us who aren't necessarily prepared for physical battle. So, can you elaborate on some of these non physical strategies and how they can be effective in preventing violence?
Sure. Most of us are not prepared for
Yeah, the only time I ever think I am, like I said, is after a superhero movie. You're like, for that like few minutes after, yeah, I'm ready. And then in reality, you're like, definitely, I am not.
like, I want to run away. And that's actually a great response.
Yes, absolutely.
So, other than physical, well, awareness is definitely top of the list. And being aware can buy you those extra couple of seconds to develop some other kind of response, which is primarily verbal. And so that's where de-escalation strategies come into play, which includes your physical communication, your body language, and how you present yourself that way, and use your body language skills to back up what you're saying verbally. And those things, those skills can help you de-escalate a situation, or at least create some distance, while you're trying to physically move away, things like that.
Excellent. So there's a lot of things within our physicality other than fighting. So you were mentioned your verbal, your how you carry yourself. So what are a couple quick things that we can do? Say we're walking through, we always assume at night, right? But a dark parking lot at night. So how can we walk through this parking lot so we are conveying that message to others, either that we are likely to get attacked or not? So what are the two ways that looks?
Well, parking lots are a great example, okay, whether it's daytime or nighttime, because they're one of the main transition areas where other people have access to us, right? And so whether it's daytime or nighttime, the first rule is don't be looking at your phone. Please.
Hallelujah and amen, everybody. Look up.
Use, if it's at night, if it's dark, use your phone's flashlight. Absolutely. That's terrific. But that flashlight can also be used in self-defense, if you flash it in someone's eyes, something like that. But primarily using it just to see where you're going, and walk with confidence. Walk like you know where you're going, and your head is up, you're looking around. And so that combination of projecting confidence and awareness is such a great combination. And when you are presenting yourself that way, you are less likely to be targeted by somebody, right? Because if you think about what would an attacker look for, and I know most people don't think about that.
But that's actually a great way to reframe it if they're going to look to attack somebody. So, like, please tell us so we can not do those things.
How I usually describe this is that criminals want to hold the ace, ACE, right? If you think like the ace of spades, they want access to you or your things. They want control of the situation, usually through the element of surprise or manipulation. Then they also want an easy escape. So access, control, escape. They want to hold that ace. But if we have control of even one of those things, we are less likely to be targeted, or they are less likely to get away with whatever it is they're thinking they want to do.
Excellent. Wow. That is so actionable and memorable.
So we want to hold the A's. That's.
Oh, I love that. Okay. So now can you describe your stun and run class and what participants can expect to learn? So first of all, the name is awesome. It's catchy. I already want to go. I already want to take it. I want to try this. But so if somebody is signing up, you've got a variety of in-person and online course offerings. What kind of things are we going to learn when we take your stun and run course?
The stun and run course is a lot of fun.
It sounds like it.
And the idea is that you really need to know just some basic things about self-defense, because like we talked about earlier, we don't really want to be in a fight. And if we have to physically defend ourselves, we want to get out of that situation as quickly as possible. And so in order to make somebody let go of you or to create that distance, sometimes that's where the stun part comes in. You want to do something that surprises them, makes them let go of you, maybe disables them in some way so that you can escape. So stun and run is all about escape, getting from the danger. And so what we focus on is, first of all, mindset. You have to have a survivor mindset. Okay. You are absolutely worth fighting for, and don't rely on other people to come save you. If something is happening, you're the one that's there in the moment. You're the one that needs to respond in the moment. And again, I'll go back to options. If you understand that you have options, you will get past the freeze, right? Because there's fight, flight, and freeze.
Mm-hmm.
And the vast majority of us will absolutely freeze when something first happens. But if you know you have options, you'll get through that freeze quicker, and you'll respond, and you'll do something to help yourself. And so that survivor mindset is so important. Then we focus on establishing a base. And so what that means is you need stability in order to defend yourself or to fight back. So we work on basic stances, right? How to stand, standing with your feet 1 foot slightly back, a little more than shoulder width apart. Hands are up above your waist, right? Because with that, you can help create distance, you can defend yourself, you can do a lot of the different things. If your hands are down, it takes longer to defend yourself. So stepping back, a little more than shoulder width apart with your hands up, basic defense position. So we practice that. We practice using our voice, because if something happens, usually one of the first things people do is yell or scream. So we practice using our voice as a weapon.
Nice. These are things that we already have within us. This is so great.
Right. So we're just fine-tuning some of these natural responses so that they can be used to our advantage. So using your voice as a weapon in combination with establishing your stance, getting those hands up, and it depends on the situation. What is happening, right? And so we look at 11 different natural weapons. Most people just think of the two fists, right? If you say, what are your natural weapons? They hold up their hands, their fists. And great, that's two, but you have so many more. So we talk about those weapons. We talk about targeting, like where do those weapons fit on the center line, soft spots of targeting. And then we look at different ways of using those weapons.
Nice. Wow. And it's so simple, but it's complicated, but it's simple. I think just with that empowering and realizing what we already have, that you don't have to carry around a suite of weapons and a variety of other things. Because the problem is the one time you leave home without them, that might be the time you find yourself in a situation. So you're preparing people as they are in any situation that they're in.
Correct. Because there are some places where you cannot carry what we would consider traditional weapons. schools, for instance, you can't carry traditional weapons. When you're traveling, a lot of times you can't carry traditional weapons. And so you need to be aware that you still have options. You still have weapons with you all the time. It's just a matter of understanding how to use them.
And you adapt your message to different audiences and different situations. So, how do you tailor your seminars to meet those different needs? So, say you've got women or senior adults, or we like to call them olders, or younger adults. So, how do you go about tailoring it to that specific group that you're working with?
Well, first I ask questions. I find out what of concern to them. What are they experiencing in their communities? What are their concerns? And then we also talk about physical issues, right? Like if you have, maybe your shoulder doesn't work as well, or your knee is, you have a bad knee. There's all kinds of different physical things that people have, especially as they get older. And so I love working with senior groups because they're very motivated and they have realized that they can't necessarily do the same things they did when they were 20, right? They're like, yeah, my body doesn't do that anymore. And I don't want to do that. And so what can you do with the body you have, the body that you live with every day? And so understanding that is helpful. And then when I'm working, say, with seniors, I focus more on different verbal skills and upper body things that they can do to protect themselves. And I also focus on the environment. What can they use in their environment to stay safe? I don't focus as much on the lower body weapons like kicking or knees, things like that, because oftentimes there are stability issues. So focus on what people can do and what they can use. And so that's the same with younger people, like teenagers or even kids. Focus on what they can do and what they'll actually use naturally. So environment plays a big role too. I've actually used a shopping cart to keep myself and my daughter safe one time.
Oh, that's amazing.
Well, we were in a parking lot and this man was just being so aggressive. And I was trying to put things in my car and my daughter was in the cart. She was very young. And he kept trying to talk to me. And I made it very clear I didn't want to talk to him. And I was busy. And he was not going away. And then he started to walk around the cart and I moved the cart. I shifted the cart to keep it between us so that there was a distance. He couldn't approach me and he couldn't grab my daughter. And just that couple feet of metal cart was enough to keep him away until I started making enough noise and causing commotion where I was attracting attention. And that is the last thing that somebody like him wants. And so he left. But using furniture, using a shopping cart, different things in your environment to
Wow.
distance and to buy you time. Really.
So that's really incredible. That's a real life situation. Obviously, you didn't plan that, you weren't expecting it, but you had already gotten yourself in the mindset. I am worth saving, I am worth fighting for, and the no one is coming to save me. I don't actually find that disheartening as in the world doesn't care about you, but realistically, sometimes bystanders are afraid to act or help might be farther away, and that time and distance between getting help still allows for plenty of opportunity for a crime to be committed. So you started with that mindset. And then you had the awareness, if you had been on your phone and not looking, this man could have easily come around the cart before you had a chance to get it in there. And then you realized in that moment you have options. You have, what do I have with me right now? I have a cart, I have my voice, I have my body if need be. And you took away his aid because now he can't access you, he can't physically get to you because this cart. And I'm like, if you've ever been rammed on accident with a shopping cart, and that the control, the easy escape, I mean, these principles are falling together so easily, and this really feels like very accessible.
Yes.
Oh, I love that. Now, so you've already been teaching this, you've been teaching this for a while. so people can access your courses in person, online. What are your future goals? I know I already want everybody to learn this. So what are your future goals for your Think Safe seminars? What else is coming up?
The thing that I'm working on right now is how to bring this into more workplaces, because there's a lot of discord. There's disagreements or arguments, different things going on. And so how do you bring this awareness, personal and environmental awareness, de-escalation strategies, bringing that into the workplace, and partly for the interpersonal, for the workers themselves, a lot of it can be used to improve customer service, for instance. So, because the interactions with your customers are a lot of times where the conflict happens. If you think about people coming into the store, not finding what they want, or they have to return something, or they're annoyed, customer service is a big deal. And wherever you are, whether it's a store or a hotel or restaurants. And so understanding how to use your awareness and de-escalation skills to manage customers is really helpful. And the other thing that I'd like to do is help businesses, smaller and mid-sized businesses, to conduct risk and threat assessments. Larger corporations have teams of people that do this, right? They manage the physical area, and they have HR teams to help provide training. But a lot of small and mid-sized organizations don't have the staff or the finance or the time. And so I'm putting something together to help those groups.
Excellent. I love that you're making this broadly accessible to people, not just those with the big corporate spending, but for small business owners like myself, and for others out there, whether they want to do this in their home. And God bless the people who still are willing to work in customer service. We're sorry for the abuse that you take. Please don't stop selling us coffee and other stuff. We need you. And so I love that you are helping the people in this industry that are feeling frustrated and burnout and, quite frankly, abused, and giving them the tools, not just for physical defense, but the preemptive stuff. If you can de-escalate someone before they get violent, these are just life skills. This is so valuable.
These are absolutely life skills. And it works both ways, right? You might be the disgruntled customer, but the way that you present your issue with the store goes a long way toward resolving your issue in a positive way, and you leaving happy, as opposed to still being angry all day.
Excellent. If everybody used these skills, think of how many less fights and,
oh my
and problems to shoot. I'm actually getting goosebumps at what a difference it would make if these were just generally understood and utilized skills. But that's what you're doing. That's your mission. You're reaching out for everybody to learn these. Now, how do you stay updated? The latest trends and techniques and safety and self-defense, because it's a balance of those good old-fashioned common sense things that you're teaching, but there's always some type of new technology or trend that kind of affects our safety. So how do you stay up to date on all that?
Always training. I'm always training as well. And I look for other really good trainers who might be looking at something in a little bit different way than I do. I also keep up with the physical defense training. I still go into the dojo at least once or twice a month, train those physical skills, talk with my instructor about different aspects of power generation, things like that. I listen to a lot of audibles. And let's see, one of the books that I listened to recently was called What Every Body is Saying by Joe Navarro. And it was all about body language and how to use that and being aware of it. Another one, Red Flags by Wendy Patrick. And so that's more of the using your instinct and recognizing red flags for what they are, right? And then how to manage those.
I know a lot of people who are excellent at ignoring those and trying to see the good stuff, despite how broadly they are waving all the red flags. Right. So those are excellent resources. Our listeners want to continue to find ways to read and to grow these skills. So, what final piece of advice do you have for our listeners that they can use to stay safe in preventing violence in their own daily lives?
Put your phone down. Put your phone down when you're walking around. Number one, because just by doing that, your head is up, you're looking around at other things. Just that one thing.
It's such excellent advice. I mean, stick it in your pocket, stick it in your purse, look up, look around. You may protect yourself from violence. You may see a beautiful rainbow or sunset that you were going to miss because you were busy on your phone looking at pictures people took of rainbows and sunset. But wow, that combination of technology savvy, good old fashioned advice where you take people all the way from mindset to environment to what they can do physically and just this whole thing. How can people get in touch with you? Because I know there are a lot of people that are going to want to take this seminar. They want their kids to take the seminar. You want your grandma to take the seminar. We want to all be safe. So how can what's the best way to reach out to you so we can sign up?
Great. The best way is probably through my website. And so that's thinksafeseminars.com. And you'll get more information, whether it's women's safety or travel safety or workplace violence prevention. I go into a little more depth on each of those. There's also upcoming events are listed there. You can sign up for those, or you can contact me if you have an idea for a training, or if you are an organization that wants to provide training for your staff or for your customers, let me know. And other than the website, I'm on LinkedIn a lot. And so you and I are connected. And so I look forward to connecting with others I have a personal page, Dawn Armstrong. And then I also have the Think Safe Seminars page.
Excellent. Well, everybody, stick around for your top takeaways and your free gift. Dawn, thank you so much for coming. We're really attracted to people who are mission driven and making that positive difference in the lives of others. And what you have done with the Think Safe is taken a problem that can feel very overwhelming and scary and made it actually actionable. And it's something that I feel empowered that I could do today and teach my kids. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This was a great conversation.
Thank you for tuning into Navigating Hope with me, Dr. Jaime Hope. It has been an honor to navigate the realms of health and wellness with you today. Remember, in the journey toward a healthier life, knowledge is your compass. If you enjoyed our time together, please share, like, and subscribe to Navigating Hope. Join us next week where we'll continue to empower your health journey, arming you with the wisdom to navigate life's challenges and keep the emergency room in your rearview mirror.